All right, Mississippi State against Arizona State. Arizona State's a 6.5 point favorite. The over under I have for this one is one picture of Blake Shapen in a baseball. Well, here's how I should phrase this. One picture of Blake Shapen playing baseball and football in an Arizona State uniform.
Mm-hmm.
Did we follow that? Doing the Bo Jackson thing.
Okay.
That'll be the image. People forget he committed to ASU to be a two-sport athlete. Wanted to play baseball, wanted to play football. Decommitted December before his signing day, just as a certain true freshman, Jaden Daniels, emerged at Arizona State. We got, holy cow, this storm is
you gotta start singing Garth pretty soon, man.
Oh my god, I felt that one. My gosh. But yeah, Blake Shapen playing against the team that he was once committed to. Ultimately, he ends up flipping to Baylor, by the way, in the recruiting process for those who have followed his career and know kind of the story. I actually think that's probably something that we need to. I don't want to say we should rule it impossible, but I think it is so unbelievably unlikely to see these guys that play quarterback at the core four level also trying to play another sport. I don't know that you can do it anymore. I understand people are going to be like, oh, like Kyler Murray, like he was able to do it. He was able to pull it off. Probably also helps that he's got Lincoln Riley in his ear and he's a former 5-star recruit who's insanely talented. But as for pretty much everybody else, like even John Rice Plumlee did it at a very high level for what he was trying to do. Did John Rice Plumlee have the baseball career that he thought he was going to? Probably not. Did he end up developing as a passer in the way that he probably hoped he would? Probably.
Well, he played for Gus, so his hope shouldn't have been too high.
This is true, but
it's managing expectations, brother. If you thought you were going to turn into Cam Newton, I'll let you know why you won't.
I will not tolerate any John Rice Plumlee slander on this show. I will not, even though I was the one that kind of threw that out there. But still, I just think it's really hard to do that. And I don't know, maybe I don't want to say that we should just kind of laugh off kids attempting to do that because chase your dreams, do all that stuff. But at some point, Blake Shapen realized I can't do that. Maybe he's going to be one of those guys that goes back and plays baseball like 6 years from now or 4 years from now or something like that. If football doesn't end up being a path for him. But yeah, the little wrinkle that you'll see probably early on in this game will be interesting. You'll be like, oh, Blake Shapen, you were super athletic coming out of just a kid out of Shreveport, as one does, certain. Jacob Hester was once a 2-sport star, I believe. Hester played another sport, I think, right? Maybe? I don't know. Yeah, I'll ask Hester about that.
I will say, hey, don't forget about the dreadlocks of doom, Chad Jones, LSU legend, 2-time national champion in football and baseball. So there's the guy, right?
It's different now, though. Like there's so much that's expected. Like I think it's the roster turnover with how quickly you have to you have new receivers coming in and out and stuff like that. There's more turnover at
you're right.
spots. Yeah. I guess it's just tougher now.
And I mean, few are athletic because he played defense. That's the other thing. Few are athletic enough to play defense, which is like it's not to say it's easier than playing quarterback, but it's just more athletically like tuned to where you're either kind of got it or you don't. If you play SEC DB,
just quarterback. By the way,
quarterback is just like Jameis is another good example of a guy. So where I was going here is we said this during media days, which is, hey, little recruits, I don't know why you're listening to me, but if you're listening to this podcast, if a coach tells you that you are going to play both offense and defense, if a coach tells you that you are going to play 2 different sports to get you on campus, they're lying to you, brother. I'm just letting you know that right now. Every single time we hear about a guy, you might get some carries at running back. Oh, I don't know. He used to play defense in high school. Oh, he's got a hell of an arm. He can play baseball. He can play on their baseball. He can play on their basketball team too. Outside of the guys that like ended up as NFL tight ends, like a Julius Peppers, that's not going to happen for you, brother. So if you're committing to somewhere based on what the basketball team is going to do and you're a football recruit or the baseball team, don't do that. I'm just letting you know that right now because the guys, unless you think you're Shohei Ohtani and you're one of the top 2 athletic people in the world, or Jack, what's his name from Florida? If you can't do that, don't try to play 2 sports.
Look, I'm just saying, Caglione is who you're thinking.
Caglione, there we go.
And that's, 2 positions, so it's the Shohei thing, not as much the 2-sport thing. But look, we're going to get to somebody in Lad of the Week that is, I guess, showing that he can do multiple things in obviously historic ways. But I think for Shapen, really important game for what he's trying to do this year, and it's going to be a good indication of how he's going to handle SEC defenses. Big test for him, big test for this Mississippi State defense. As basura as Arizona State was last year it's still one of the better offensive minds in the sport in Kenny Dillingham, at least one of the more respected up-and-coming offensive minds. Tons and tons of new pieces on that Mississippi State defense who are going to be tested. They're going to have some spots where they're just going to be put on islands. That's probably why they're a touchdown underdog in this game. Fun fact, Arizona State has never beat an SEC team, ever. I don't know that they faced that many, but I saw the stat out there, like Kenny Dillingham was talking about that in his presser, like trying to get students to be able to show up to this one. It's going to be 10:30 start on the East Coast. We got more thunder. We got more lightning. Goodness gracious. Other fun fact, Will, I had a 1-year stretch in middle school where I was dead set on attending Arizona State, not as a two-sport athlete.
My God, you would have been miserable. I couldn't think of a place that is less Connor O'Gara than Tempe, Arizona.
Tempe.
Is that right?
Tempe?
Tempe? We're doing Arizona pronunciations with the COVID break.
My bad. You're right. I think 8th grade Connor or 7th grade Connor realized that, because I very quickly was like, you know what, Connor, this vacation that you went on in 6th grade was great. And you loved Tempe. It was fun. Mm-hmm. It was beautiful. Cool region of the country. I don't think I would have fared particularly well. Our friend Matt Berry, he's been able to do just fine going to Arizona State, and everything worked out well for him. I think my path would have been a little bit different, but anyways, other last fun fact for you. This line opened, I think, at Arizona State is a 2.5-point favorite, and it's ballooned to Arizona State -6.5. I'm going to do the dumb thing. Okay. I'm admitting this is dumb. So ears perk up. Don't blame me if you follow me and do that dumb thing with me. Do the opposite of what I'm doing. Fade me hard right now. Mm-hmm. I'm going to say that Shapen continues the deep ball prowess. He had 2 50-yard completions in the opener, which matched Mississippi State's entire 2023 total. Pretty crazy to think about that. I'm going to pick Mississippi State to win outright. I think they go on the road. I think they have a little bit something in that passing game, a little bit of juice for the Bulldogs on the road. And it doesn't quite give us full Pac-12 after dark vibes. And this isn't Pac-12 because Arizona State's in the Big 12 now. Mm-hmm. But we get at least some of those. And we trick ourselves into thinking, this is the only thing that we have now for Pac-12 after dark. This is fun. This is back and forth. These teams kind of make dumb plays and don't really make a whole lot of sense. And they're both kind of figuring out who they are. And that's what we need to be able to see very, very late nights, each and every Saturday night.
These are 2 football teams that have been kind of, in flux for the last couple of years. I wish we could have seen the versions of these teams that employed Herm Edwards and Mike Leach, just so I could see the pregame press conferences and the quotes back and forth they would have. Great point. But this is actually a closer second than I think people are realizing. Because you made a great point about Kenny Dillingham, great offensive mind. And we see the exact same thing on the other sideline with Jeff Lebby, right? So these are 2 teams that kind of went for that established voice. Obviously, Mike Leach tragically passed away. Different situation, just didn't work out for Herm Edwards. But these 2 teams have found similar paths forward, which is we're going to take the young kind of, bud off of this great coaching tree, be it Oregon, with Dillingham, he's had a longer history in that, Lebby too, the Lane Kiffin thing, summarizing here, of course. And so this really could be, a coming out party for one of these teams, not for the national stage, not, oh my God, everybody watch out for Mississippi State. But if these things work, if Arizona State's current version works, if Mississippi State works, this could very easily be the game you look at and go, oh, wait, we can actually do this, because both of these teams have a little bit of roster attrition. Both of them are not known to be great defenses. So if you get one of these offenses humming in a way the other one isn't quite, this game could be easily a runaway win. And I think that this is going to be super duper fascinating because, to your point, there's not a lot of history here. Arizona State, like you said, has never been an SEC team. Now, I would hope they're rushing to schedule Brian Kelly week 1, because that could be anybody. Sure. But point B, couldn't be UCLA until a couple years ago. Anyway, so nice coach out. Anyway, so point being, both of these coaches are super duper smart coaches that just kind of happen to be in these places, for lack of a better term. Like no super strong ties, you know what I'm saying, either way. So I think that it is very interesting to see kind of the story of this game. And you know what? I lied there. Kenny Dillingham is an alum of Arizona State. I definitely, he started
it's a strong tie. Yeah.
Yeah. So he's an alum. He's now coming back for the first time since 2014. So the point being, like, these are both young minds who are going to kind of shape these teams in their images. And this could be the beginning of some type of a DVD. Not saying it's going to be a championship, conference championship, anything like that, but respectable era of football that both of these pretty proud fan bases have craved. Yeah, I think this could be something.
I think I don't know that it's so much the DVD. I don't think you make a full DVD for seasons like this, but it's the nobody believes in us hype video.
Yeah,
that gets the 5 minute. These are like feature films now. What are we doing with these? Like get them condensed. They don't need to be 5 minutes. But it's an Arizona State team that was, I believe, picked to finish dead last in the Big 12. A Mississippi State team that was picked to finish second to last in the Big 12. You'll be playing this game at night against a core 4 opponent and telling yourself, see, this is why you should have believed in us. So it's big for the future hype videos.
Exactly.
You will see whoever wins this game, like, just count the amount of times you see a clip from this night in those, future hype videos that come out down the road. Yeah, that's a good point. Do people still make championship DVDs? Is that still a thing?
I know they make coffee table books for things less than championships. So I feel like, 10 wins with Mississippi State, 9 wins, you probably get a coffee table book. I think that would be a good thing to look forward to. But yeah, I think video teams are having a great time. I actually didn't even pick this game. I do think this is going to be, I don't know, man. Actually, if Arizona State's a 6.5 point favorite, they cruised week 1. I actually think I'm going to take Arizona State to barely cover this.
That makes me feel better that we hedged on this. That was smart. Good thinking on you.